What's up, everybody? My name is Jacob Cabazzuto. I'm the head trainer at Cab Training. I specialize in making football players faster. And in this video, I'm going to outline exactly how football players can improve their acceleration. Acceleration, as I went over in a past video, is more important for football players in most positions than top speed is. Top speed's so important. You see guys like Tyreek Hill reaching 23 miles per hour, but he wouldn't be able to break into the open field without acceleration. So in this video, I'm going to really go over what 3 different methods I like to use to improve an athlete's acceleration and how you can do it on your own. So the first way that you can improve acceleration is to get explosively, functionally strong. And yes, I'm using 2 adjectives there, or maybe adverbs: explosively, functionally strong. Okay, it's great to be strong. It's great to have a 500-pound squat, a 700-pound deadlift. But if you're not functionally strong or explosively strong, you're not going to be able to accelerate at a high speed. So how do we get explosively, functionally strong? Resisted sprinting. I like to push sleds, pull sleds, and run hills for resisted sprinting. It's if you don't have a sled, just go to a hill, but you need to make sure that you get full recovery in between each hill sprint. It's the most basic way and the best bang for your buck to go out, run a hill, push a sled, or pull a sled, and you just do it smartly. Now, a lot of people irresponsibly put too much weight on the sled when they pull it. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the sled doesn't have more than 50% of your body weight on it. That's just my point of view. I'm sure other speed coaches have different ways of measuring it. But if you're putting more than 50% of your body weight on a sled, it may not have the benefit that it should. But if you're going closer to 50% of your body weight, do 5 to 15 yard sled sprints. And then if you're looking to improve your later acceleration, which is yards 10 through 25, I would put a lighter sled weight closer to 25% of your body weight on the sled. But again, if you don't have a sled, just go run a hill, do it once or twice a week to the point where you're running full speed, 8 to 12 reps with a full recovery in between each one, and your acceleration will get that much better. The second way that you can improve your acceleration is through horizontal plyos. Now, the reason why I say horizontal plyos is because when you are accelerating, you're putting a lot of force horizontally into the ground. When we're in our top speed running mechanics, right, we're putting force straight down into the ground vertically. But when we're accelerating and we're pushing off the line and we're pushing out of our first several steps, we're pushing the ground backward to drive our body forward. So when we do our horizontal plyos, we're really focusing on pushing the ground behind us so we could project our hips as far forward as possible. So what horizontal plyos are important? Broad jumps, triple jumps, single leg broad jumps, repeated broad jumps. We do a lot of broad jumps at Cab Training simply due to the fact that that is the best way to improve our force production off the line and maximize our horizontal force in our first several steps. So you want to be doing broad jumps once or twice a week. I would say twice a week, just so you guys can train that horizontal aspect. Most people just do vertical jumping, but it's such a big benefit to do horizontal jumping. And then repeated broad jumps are great because it teaches you how to build momentum, right? After those first 4 steps, you can coast off of the first 4 steps and run 15 miles per hour if you're a well-trained high school athlete. And it's all because of the momentum you create through those first 4 steps. And nothing's better at training you to build momentum than repeated jumps. Each jump should get further and higher because of your momentum that you create. And so that's why plyos are so important for acceleration. The third way that I like to improve acceleration for football players is technique. And the reason why I put it last is because it's less important than getting explosively functionally strong and horizontal plyos. We spend less time on acceleration technique than we do on those other 2 aspects, but it's still just as important. When a couple common technique flaws in acceleration is landing in front of the center of mass. Let's just say I'm taking my first step off the line as a receiver or as an edge rusher, and my first step lands here. Well, if we land here, we land in front of our center of mass, and our foot stays on the ground too long, and we cause ourselves to brake rather than accelerate. But if we land underneath our center of mass, we have the leverage to push our body forward, therefore creating more force and improving our speed. And so a lot of athletes have a hard time striking underneath their center of mass. So we really focus on drills to do that. What drills? Well, we do a lot of drills up against a wall where we have our hands up against the wall, leaning at a 45-degree angle, switching our thighs, running up against the wall, working on the pattern of snapping that knee forward and snapping the foot back down on the downward swing of the acceleration. So wall drills are very important. You could do sled marches to improve acceleration mechanics, just those couple basic things so you can get used to being in that 45-degree leaned up angle off the line. So in summary, if you want to improve your acceleration as a football player, you need to, one, be explosively, functionally strong by doing sled sprints, hill sprints, and sled pushes. Two, you need to do horizontal plyometrics like broad jumps, single leg broad jumps, repeated broad jumps, and triple broad jumps. And three, you need to improve your technique by doing wall drills, sled marches, and any drill that can focus on hitting your foot underneath your center of mass. If this video helped you out, hit the like button, subscribe to Cab Training, and follow us on all our social medias. And thank you so much for watching. Let's get better today.